I always talk about how Australia has terrifying wildlife, a massive desert that's pretty much uninhabitable within the continent, and oh yeah, all the citizens have to spend 100% of their life upside down. But there's gotta be more to it. There's gotta be more to the land down under. And instantly, I can already tell this is gonna be a fun one. Someone put a bunch of manure in front of News Corp. I don't know what that is, but they just stacked it right in front of the doors. Nice job watching that, buddy. Did you do anything to stop them? Took literally 20 seconds for us to drop the C word, and it looks like it's on a restaurant receipt. No doorbell. Yell "Oi, C" really loud. We here can't say that in the US without being put in a gulag, so I guess I'll just be ordering takeout then. This plane taking off from Sydney drew the nation's spirit animal. How much fuel do you think he wasted doing this? This was the last airplane to have enough gas. Someone says Australia summarized a sign saying "Know your bushfire plan," while the entire land is just completely flooded. Honestly, that should have been in your preparations. Always be prepared for anything. So apparently, ScoMo is a famous Australian word or phrase. A person in charge who leaves things to others when a difficult or emergency situation arises. Shit was really going boobies up at work this week, so I ScoMo'd off to a tropical island for some R&R and let someone else sort it out. I had no idea until this moment that I've actually been doing this my whole life. My life has actually been perfectly summarized by this Australian slang word. Someone got really cheated out of what they thought was filled donuts. That is not even right. They just put it on the outside and sold them anyways. I feel like in Australia, if you do that to the wrong person, you're probably not gonna make it out alive. So drawing with planes is just kind of a normal thing here. Is this just what people are doing on their free time, I guess? I mean, at least this one actually has like a statement made, and honestly, it's very meaningful. This license plate snuck through the Department of Transportation. I might have to try this in the States. Is this possible? Can I learn this power? I feel like this has actually got to be a danger to the road. Like, I don't think I'd be able to contain my laughter. I'd probably cause like a 10-car pileup. Today I learned Melbourne, Australia is actually closer to Antarctica than it is to Darwin, which is like a very northernmost city. That's kind of a terrifying thought, actually. What place is more uninhabitable, Antarctica or Darwin? For some reason, I have a feeling that Darwin's probably a rough place. I would be doing a video on Australia right now while a spider is currently walking up my wall. They know. Ah, yes, the archive lives on. This is amazing that this natural phenomenon has gone all the way to the land down under. I thought only people in the US knew about this. I actually thought only people from California knew about this. Where is this coming from? Is this what the aliens are doing now? They built the pyramids and now they're like, hey, let's just with everyone. Put this S everywhere. No ugly wind turbines ruining the view. Absolutely gorgeous. Incredible, Australia. This right here is worth the $1,000 plane ride. 4chan on Australia. 1920. Be Californian. Get duped into buying Australian eucalyptus trees. Plant thousands of acres. Australians forgot to mention it takes at least 100 years for the trees to mature. Thousands of investors go broke. 2017, 100 years later, the trees have spread everywhere and have finally matured. Australia also forgot to mention the trees produce a highly flammable toxic oil that builds up in the tree. California burns down. They're playing the long game, boys. Is that why half my state burns down every year? And now the most alpha Chad move, I am the Californian reviewing Australia as they take home this massive dub. We have a tourist handling a blue ring octopus. To me, looks adorable. Very nice. Until I realized that these guys have the venom that can kill 26 human adults. Not so cute now, are you? Also, as for the tourist, what a fucking legend. I had to say it once. Another wildlife fact, Australia has some of the worst and most annoying seagulls out there. They will just not leave you alone. It's pretty ridiculous. I remember I met an Australian waitress in LA and I asked her if she'd ever done a shoey before and she did not appreciate that. She's like, why don't you do a fucking shoey? I guess not all Australians want to do shoeys, which that's okay. Why are you littering? I am a jerk, check. I don't care about natural areas, check. Mommy still cleans up after me, check. And all of the above. Really sensing just a whole lot of passive aggression here in this country, but I'm sure there's also just raw aggression that's gonna come out too. So living in the upside down world, obviously this country has some very weird weather patterns. Here are the 6 seasons, so in December and January it is dry and hot, but February and March are actually the hottest part of the year. Things get slightly better in May and April, and the coldest and wettest time are actually in June and July. This is so weird. Mixture of wet days in August and September, and then there's just this long dry season up until we start the cycle over again. Something is really terrifying about this. I can't imagine December and January being super hot. July, June, and cold? It's freaky. This Australian is playing with fire right here. He almost got drive-by by a koala. Are these koalas really aggressive? They can be really mean. That one's alright. Well, still trying to attack. Oh, okay. Decided to let you live for now. I think this is like an energy company in Australia called Energex. This is a note saying that they couldn't access the meter, basically because unsure if the chicken was restrained. She tried to peck me. Now don't forget, you might think this person is a weakling, but we're talking chickens from Australia. They're built different. These things basically survived 2 tours of Nam. What a huge moment in this child's life. Jackson's first local drug bust. I don't think he's ever gonna forget it. His life will forever be changed. 1 down, a lifetime's worth to go. Nope, 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 nope. I'm good. I am good. Why do I feel extremely uncomfortable watching this? Oh, it looks like it's gonna lay eggs in the camera. So funny, because I'm sure the Australians right now are completely unfazed. Why is it just casually walking over? How big is this thing? Looks like it's the size of the door. What's even better is it was apparently ringing the doorbell. That's very kind of him when he can clearly bust through using only half his strength. Australia's national dishes are leftover sludge from brewing beer on white bread with butter, cheap sausages on white bread with butter served in front of a hardware store, rainbow sugar bowls on white bread with butter, chips with chicken salt on white bread with butter. I can just smell the diabetes. And I don't see this on the menu when I go to Outback. I love that the Australian wildlife is so Chad that they get their own signs. Multiple animals have their own signs. I didn't know you guys had a Kraken. The Sims 4, the DLC City Living. This also happens to be the only way Sydney residents can own a house and enjoy the nightlife. 3 out of 5 stars. Don't video games cost like twice as much as they normally do in Australia? Aren't they doing some weird thing over there? Because I'll tell you this much right now, the Sims 4 with all of the DLCs would probably cost as much as rent would be in Sydney. So we have a vehicle throwing something into the, I don't know, throwing some sort of trash. Some McDonald's bag or something. Oh, bam, got reported. And I don't even know what's worse. I mean, he was like really into the other person's lane too. Do you want to learn to play recorder? And already there are a few takers. And by takers, I mean, no, they don't want to. I guess musicians are hard to come by in this country. In the film Event Horizon from 1997, this actor wore a flag what he thought the Australian flag would look like in 2047, which that is basically just the regular Australian stars. And then is this the native flag? I mean, I think anything is better than the British watermark left on there. This is David Foster, Australia's most successful athlete. He is possibly one of the only athletes in the world to win 1,000 titles. Specifically in World Wood Chopping Championships. And my man is a beast. Just an absolute tank. Gotta appreciate Google Maps for this, keeping this massive prawn's face blurred out. Gotta hide that identity somehow. There's just so many massive prawns out there. They definitely like the private life. Wow. These gender reveals are just really just getting out of hand. Thought it was just us doing it, but clearly Australia's going a little overboard as well. Do you ever just give up and use 4G in your own house? A very Australian story. I've heard the Wi-Fi or internet situation is pretty bad here. I can relate. Sometimes it's pretty much one of the most depressing feelings. I can't imagine living that life though all the time. I've always been curious how difficult it is actually to play the didgeridoo, because it looks like it's got to be one of the most simplest instruments out there, no? This is why no one wanted to play the damn recorder. That thing was too difficult. Why not just make funny noises in this big ass pipe? I've seen this one before, had no idea it was in Australia, but probably should have known that. Those are rodents. They have a massive infestation. I'm surprised there's not like a dog on hand to like just start going crazy with them. I know a lot of farmers have like Jack Russells, just go and tear them up. Honestly, I really don't know which one is the most attractive. It's a hard one out there. They got just so many options in this country. It's not even fair. Yes, summers in Australia, or in other words, December. What a hell of a month. Somebody from the US was asking a citizen from Western Australia why they don't ever leave their state. Leaving the state of Western Australia is like leaving from Mexico all the way up to Iowa in some cases. Yeah, I'm good. I don't think I would leave either. I had no idea EB Games even existed still. I remember going there as a kid, so this is like their last hope. They're holding off in this country, but I guess they have a lot of sales going on. They're going out of business. They're probably doing as good as GameStop in the US. This is inside an airport in Sydney, and apparently this McDonald's decided to wake up and live in the year 2350. I don't know why it's such a specific number, but the Happy Meals just coming from the roof like that, using a little conveyor belt. I don't even want the food. I was just looking for the entertainment. A combination I have never once thought of for my whole life, and I probably would have gone my whole life without ever thinking this. Kangaroos and the snow. How do kangaroos do in the snow? I guess pretty well. They seem to be doing fine, actually. This is weird, seeing an army of kangaroos like marching through the planet of Hoth. These really do look like animals that'd be like in a Star Wars movie. I don't know why that's reminding me of Kangaroo Jack. Charlie! I knew I was gonna see this type of stuff, but I still am just not prepared for it. Like, there's just something so terrifying about it. Like, I'm pretty sure things just pop up out of nowhere. Spiders ring doorbells, kangaroos in the snow, boa constrictors in the gas station. I don't know. Does he chill like in the gas tanks down below? Imagine you're trying to pump gas in your car and like a snake comes out. Maybe that's the fuel they use out here, actually. And big thanks to the patrons of May. Drew's Argentinian Grandpa. I'm About a Nut. LuxembourgLover. Poppy Drew Woo. I Love Drew Durnil. AryanAfterHours. Stormtrooper 501. Zeffi. Patrick C. Manny 74. Kaylee K. M203 BrushEm. Ian L. FusionWolf. Anthony G. SanNick. EpiNick. Elijah Senpai. Dalton D. Call of Tortoise. Anikyte. Aaron F. And Aaron F. 2.